Hi everyone, my name is Corey Hagewood and I will be hosting today's feature focus covering the TracerPlus Connect Sync Service. Before we get started, it is important to know the distinction between the Connect Sync Service and the Connect Management Studio. Think of them as two different applications that are for the most part the same. The main difference is that the Connect Sync Service does not have a UI component and that it uses the Windows service account when accessing files and folders. With that said, let's take a look at the most common trouble areas when setting up the Connect Sync Service. First, make sure that you're changing the port referenced in your TracerPlus desktop project. Remember, the Connect Sync service is a different application and as such needs to use a different port. By default, the sync service is set to use port 4404, so if you haven't changed it, set your desktop project to that value. It's also important to check your firewall settings. Make sure that traffic is allowed on port 4404. Many times this port will be blocked by default, so playing with the firewall is always a good place to start when troubleshooting the Connect Sync service. Now let's take a look at the Connect project file. The Connect Sync service uses the Windows service account when accessing files and folders, so we need to make sure that every file we reference in our Connect project, including our Connect project itself, is located in a directory where the Windows service can reach. This means that the linked desktop project, the data source and destination, and the Connect project itself must be located in a non-user specific directory. We recommend using the root of the C drive for this because no matter what user is logged in, they should always have access to those files and folders. An important thing to note is that if your data source or destination cannot be located locally on the machine, it is possible to reference the full UNC path to that location if it's, say, on a map drive or something like that. The last thing to take a look at would be the preferences dialog. Here's where you actually set the project being loaded into the Sync Service application. Although the Connect Sync Service and the Management Studio are separate applications, the Sync service is configured within the Management Studio. The active Connect project should be targeted toward the copy of your Connect project saved locally on the C drive. That pretty much sums it up for today's feature focus. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email at support@tracerplus.com.